Hey guys, welcome to LawnCareMadeEasy.com. I'm Zach Stroud. So today we will be doing something different. Every Friday I'll be picking out 5 questions that I'll be answering related to lawn care and landscaping, anything in those industries that I think a lot of people need to know, even questions that I get. So if there's a question you have for me that you would like me to answer, put it in the comments, and I'll put it in my questions for the next week. So I'm hoping that this will help people along the way for questions that they really don't know. And not everybody does these videos. So I'm just hoping that maybe this will help you out. So here we go. So I have 5 questions that I've picked out for today, and I think these are pretty common questions that I get from clients and also people online. So the first one is, should I still be mowing my lawn in October? Well, unless you live in a very cold environment, usually your grass is still actively growing. I mean, we're still getting temperatures, above 70, even in 80s. I live in South Carolina, so just yesterday it was around 83. We're 9 days into October, so we're still getting that hot weather, mild weather that's going to start coming in at night, but the hot weather is still going to be during the day, and that gives the grass enough heat to keep growing. So keep your lawn up and keep it cut, and keep taking care of it, because as it starts to gradually get cooler, you'll know when to stop, because you'll see that it's not growing as much, and that'll be a good sign that you can start slacking off up until your first frost. Okay, so the second question is, how short should I cut my grass before winter? Well, I just did a video on this, so y'all can look back and take a look at that. But usually you want to gradually start cutting your grass shorter, about every week. Okay, you want to start at it should be about 3.5 to 3 inches. And by the time winter gets here, which is in my area, our first frost is going to be somewhere in the beginning of November. So you'll want to start gradually cutting that grass lower and lower until you get to that first frost. And after that first frost, you want to take it down to probably about 2.5 to 2 inches. Okay, and what this is going to do is keep that fungus from building up, snow mold, things like that. You think that winter is not a time for you to continue to keep up with your lawn, but it's one of the most important times, because we're getting ready for spring. So as soon as fall's over, you're keeping your lawn maintenanced for spring. Okay, so any type of dethatching you want to do, anything like that, you want to put some soil. I always put my soil in my lawn either in the first of spring or right after fall. Okay, because that way I'm not continually cutting it. I want that soil to kind of just slowly move into the ground, that fresh soil, and that way I'm not running over it, cutting it and blowing it and everywhere like that. So I try to let that soil just kind of seep into the ground. But you should keep on cutting your lawn up until that first frost, and just gradually cut it back about, you want to cut it back 1/2 inch, cut that for maybe a week or 2, and then another 1/2 inch, and just gradually bring it back. You don't want to do it all in one time, because then you're going to stress your lawn, and you may not have the early green up as you would expect coming in the next spring. Third question, is October too late to fertilize my lawn? Well, I believe we should fertilize the lawn up until probably the end of September. Now, if you want to throw some fertilizer on there, just make sure that it has a very, very low nitrogen. You want more phosphorus during that time and less nitrogen. We don't want any growing. We want the roots to be able to start digging down, getting strong, and getting ready for winter. Okay, so whatever fertilizer you use, just make sure that nitrogen is low, because all you're going to do is have a lot of growth on your leaf, and we don't want that right now. We want that to start going dormant. We want it to get comfortable and get ready to sleep for a while. Okay, so the fourth question is, can I still overseed my lawn in October? Well, to be honest, unless you live in a southern state to where you're still getting maybe in the 80s, upper 80s, your seed's going to have a hard time germinating before you hit that first frost. So usually I say by, middle of October, probably 1st of October for some of the northern states, but middle October is pretty much the last time to be able to overseed. So anytime before that is a perfect time to overseed your lawn. But once you get past that middle of October time, then you really risk your seeds being frozen and never really germinate, because usually most of the seeds, they germinate within 7 to 10 days. Okay, so you're looking at another week, and each week you can tell that it's getting a little bit colder and a little bit colder. So you want to make sure that those seeds get out before that cold weather comes in. Okay, and that way it'll have time to germinate, get some roots on it before it goes dormant. Okay, guys, so the final question, number 5, is, what should I do about leaves on my lawn? Mulch or rake them? Either one of those would work fine. It just depends on if you have new seed growing. Okay, mulching always puts organic material back into the soil, which is always good. But you have to make sure that you're not putting that on top of thatch. So if you don't bag or if you don't regularly dethatch your lawn, I would recommend raking those leaves up. And during that process of raking the leaves up, you'll kind of dethatch your lawn, because you'll see some of that thatch come up out of the lawn that you didn't get over the spring and summer. So either one of those is fine. It's just, if you want that organic material back on top of your lawn. Now, if you have a lawn that you don't fertilize regularly and you're just organic, then I would mulch them completely. I would really just mulch the leaves and probably run over them probably a good 2 or 3 times. Make sure they're really, really turned over well before you leave them on the lawn. And that's really good organic material back in your lawn, and it feeds it all winter long. And then come spring, you'll see a difference. Probably that won't probably get into the ground till probably about close to summertime. We're getting a lot of rain and sunshine during the spring, and that way you'll start to decompose and you'll get that good organic material back in your lawn. So if you don't regularly bag your grass clippings, I would say rake those leaves. But if you're regularly bagging your grass when you cut the grass, then I would say go ahead and mulch them in. Then you have good organic fertilizer to start your spring and summer off. All right, guys, so that was the 5 questions for this week. I hope that's helped you out. And if you have any questions you would like for me to answer, just put them in the comments below, and I'll put them on my list and we'll get those answered for you. I hope this helped you out, and we'll see you on the next video. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a great day, guys.